Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining me. I see that a few of you have been waiting for a little while. We are live here at the Kamp Kenan studios again this week. Really enjoying the studio as it seems like we have a nice, flowy, non-laggy stream, which is always good. So we are hanging out, and things are good this week. I hope you're having a great week. Hope you had a good Easter. Weather is great here in South Florida, and we have a lot planned for this summer on the Kamp Kenan episodes and the channel itself. So today I thought I'd hang out, say hello to everybody, chill out with you guys for a little while, and answer some questions you might have about your turtles and tortoises. And by the way, it is International Turtle and Tortoise Week, so we are very happy about this week. I hope you've been checking out all the fun content that's been out there on Facebook with some of our friends like the Turtle Conservancy and the Turtle Survival Alliance and the Turtle and Tortoise Preservation Group, all of which I belong and enjoy to do work with those guys, and lots more to come. I got a few buddies right now, but let's get to a few things here. What's up, Bangarang? I'm saying what's up to you. How you going? Remember, if you guys have any questions, make sure that you fire them out. As always, if you'd like to contribute to Kamp Kenan, we appreciate the help here to keep the videos going. We have a lot planned, as I've mentioned maybe 4 times already, but any little bit helps out, so we're stoked on that. Also, t-shirts are available, and we got some baby tortoises. Lots of baby sulcatas hanging out right now. They're $90 plus shipping. If you guys live west of the Mississippi, there's $65 to ship next day via FedEx and ship your reptiles. And if you live east of the Mississippi, it's $55. And please make sure you know the laws where you are at, that it's legal for you to own a tortoise or a turtle. Well, all right, Alex Groff, I'm going to answer your question, man. I just saw a question here, and he's asking, what is a map turtle diet? Map turtles, awesome, really cool turtles. Found from, gosh, some pockets of Vermont. As we watched in one of our videos last summer, we did a snorkeling trip in New Jersey where there's a population of common map turtles. Very cool. They range throughout the southeastern United States, west into areas of Texas and Oklahoma. Really, really cool turtles. They love fast-moving water. Very riverine species, small, but kind of closely related to the diamondback terrapins. Really, really cool animals. And to answer your question, Nate, they're definitely more carnivorous. They eat a lot of small invertebrates. The females will get these really pronounced crushing jaws similar to female diamondback terrapins, where they can actually crush through mollusks and, snails, crayfish, things of that nature, freshwater shrimp, small fish, small, insects, invertebrates, water insects, things like that. Every once in a while they're going to take some vegetable matter, some water plants, but by and large they are mostly, carnivores in that degree. So if you're keeping them in captivity, you can't give them live food. You want to make sure you get a good, well-rounded turtle diet, freshwater turtle diet. Most of them are very good for the map turtles. Sometimes it's tough to get, if you wind up, and we know we don't like this, collecting wild map turtles, hard to get them onto pellets sometimes. So you want to make sure you get a captive raised baby. Plenty of captive raised map turtles, and there's, there's so many different map turtles. I love them, but I'm not an expert in that family of turtles as far as the different types. I know there's the Barber's map turtle, the Wacha, or what is it, oh God, I can't even say the name. Really beautiful map turtles. Check them out. We can learn together. I think we need to do another show on map turtles. I think we need to do that. Some other subspecies. Might have to talk to my friend Paul Vanderscow. He knows a lot about map turtles, so we are due for a visit to show off some of his animals, and hopefully we can get there this summer. He's not too far away. All right, hey everyone. Mason Anderson is doing a project on crocodilians. Can you give me some facts? One of the more interesting things that I've recently learned about crocodilians in talking with the gentleman, Terry Cullen, who's a very knowledgeable man about crocodilian husbandry and so on, is that, everyone talks about, the crocodilian's brain and how, and again, guys, this is just regurgitating information of a discussion that I had. I expect you guys to get out there and do a lot of research yourselves, but something that was interesting that they're working on and trying to locate is how they have their small brain in their head, but they found a cluster along the vertebrae of the animal, which is kind of like a second brain, which is why in many cases, sadly, if the head's chopped off, the body is still twitching and moving, because in essence they have this nerve cluster which kind of acts as a second brain. Very interesting animals, very primitive, but very well refined by nature to get along in their habitats. And they're intelligent, as we know. They can learn commands, at least as smart as some of your dogs out there. And you don't live on Earth for millions of years without having some kind of intelligence to pass along your DNA to the next generation. You have to ask me more specific stuff about crocodilians. Perhaps I can answer them for you. Well, let's see. A Red Bull 357. Awesome question. What do you think tribal sovereignty means in the 21st century? And how do we resolve the conflict between tribes in the federal and state governments? Actually, well thought out question, but you know what? This is a problem much bigger than me. And me being a white settler in this country, or my family came in the late 19th century, early 20th century, I really don't have much to add. Although I do think that it's important that we view our native peoples with respect and give them what they so very well deserve. I hope I, got out of that question quick. But wow, I didn't think we were going to try and tackle some serious social questions here today. Let's see. Adrian Allen. Oh, look, a good friend just popped in. It's one of the Taranella family just came in. Yeah, man. Well, Casey, you may have it in to come to Kamp Kenan. If you play your cards right, maybe you can get on down here and bring your boyfriend with the interesting mustache. Little shout out. What's his name? Grant? Nice guy. Let's keep going here. Let's keep going. What do we got? All right, we got Hammer Jammer Gaming. If I got a male and female tortoise, and they laid eggs, but I didn't have the proper equipment to incubate them, what would be a good thing to do, or is there a way to incubate them with household stuff? All right, great question. Great question. And in fact, you know what I need to do? I'm going to talk to my buddy Tom, and maybe we'll do a video on how to create a home, like do-it-yourself incubator. And again, what comes to mind is my buddy Paul Vanderscal. Again, we can knock out two things at his house. Paul builds his own incubators. And that would be a fun video, how to show you guys how to do it at a very low cost. You need a styrofoam cooler, fill it with a little bit of water, some racks, an aquarium heater, and a thermostat, and you can get these for pennies on the dollar. So you can create your own homemade incubator. Mine are kind of large commercial grade incubators from Sea Serpents. They're quite large, and maybe we'll dip into them later on and see what's hatching now. It's kind of a fun little segment here at the live show. Oh, Red Bull 357, it was a joke? Dude, don't joke with me, man. I care about the world, dude. I want to see people get what they deserve. But thanks, that was fun. Well, I'm going to answer you, man. Kim Decina, how many times have you fed your Cora ambiensis, and should it be more veggies and less fruit, or the opposite? Kim, the Malaysian or Asian box turtle, which is what we're talking about, folks, Cora ambiensis. I believe that's what you were asking about. Yes. They are, they are omnivores. They'll eat worms, they'll eat, crustaceans, small invertebrates, things of that nature. But I wouldn't worry so much about, whether or not to feed more greens or fruits. I just would keep it pretty consistent all the way around. You know what I mean? Don't ever feed one thing all the time. No, they love cantaloupe, love melon. Someone just texted me. Let's see what's happening. But, I would definitely make sure that, you mix it up. It is the best thing for them, a very varied diet. Let's see. Shelly Diane. Hi. Hey, Kamp Kenan, is it a good idea to make a backyard pond? It's the best idea. Everyone needs a backyard pond. I think there should be ponds across this great land in everyone's backyards, and in those ponds should be turtles. One of the cool things we can do that I always think, as long as it's legal in your state, one of the things I'd like to do a video further explaining this, and we actually have a close friend of my family who builds incredible water features. He lives in Long Island, New York, and I'm actually going to get up there and do a really cool video to show just how expansive some of these ponds can become. And you can let your imagination run wild. And this gentleman from Emil Cray and Son, my buddy Luke, creates habitats that are easy to maintain. They maintain themselves. You build these habitats and the animals come to you. So what I think would be a really cool conservation idea is if you have the land in your backyard to build these ponds and kind of make them inviting to any native wildlife. For example, if you live in an area with, say you're in Long Island, New York, and you want to have painted turtles, just get eastern painted turtles, create a really cool habitat, something that these animals will be attracted to, and they'll stick around. And I think that's one way that we can kind of, use our backyards creatively and work with the native wildlife instead of kind of shutting them out. Obviously, down here in Florida, I built a pond for the Vatiger finnis, the Royal River terrapin, and that's really cool. So yeah, building ponds is fun. We're going to do a whole lot more how-tos coming up this season, building new ponds, new features, and little tweaks that you guys will be stoked on. I can't wait to get to it. Summer is going to be fun. Let's see what else. What else do we got here? What is an alligator snapping turtle's diet? Who said that? Oh, I lost who said that. I apologize, guys. I lost who said that, but I'll answer the question. Basically, an alligator snapping turtle is a carnivore. They are an ambush predator. They sit and wait. They wiggle their lure tongue, and they're looking for fish. However, they will also take smaller turtles. They'll crush them right up, like musk turtles, some smaller cooters, turtles like that. But they're carnivores. So any whole prey items, rats, fish, I would never feed a turtle to a turtle. But, that's what they eat. That's exactly what they eat. All right, let's see. Well, let's pull out the first animal, man. We'll talk about this guy. Since it is International Turtle and Tortoise Week, let's bring out an endangered tortoise here. This is Edgar. Edgar is a radiated tortoise, and Edgar's got a pretty cool story. Edgar grew up in New York City, and he was he's got a crazy story, man. He was illegally imported as a hatchling in the late 80s. And so now he lives here, and he was raised up in New York City, and they did an amazing job of raising this guy up. He's beautiful. Look at this shell. Is that gorgeous, guys, or what? Just really, really cool. And so basically, it's an animal that is endangered in its native Madagascar because many people are grabbing these animals out of the wild and selling them on the black market in Asia for pets mostly. And then the native peoples in Madagascar will kind of aid in that. They'll search out areas that still have these tortoises. They kind of remove them, and that's the problem that we're seeing with them. But Edgar is really cool. Edgar lived for many years in New York. His family moved to Florida. He lived with them many years, and then he's come here to live with me and finish out his life here. And he's just really, really friendly little tortoise. I love hanging out with him. And, oh, sorry, bud, I scared you. But he's just incredible, and he's nice, fat, and happy. So let me just show you something cool here. I'm going to move over, and I'm going to grab one of these little dudes. So here's a baby radiated tortoise, and you can just see what happens as they grow. This animal here is only a month and a half old. And Edgar here, late 80s, last time he was this big. So it's pretty rad to see the difference and just see what these animals become. And boy, am I scaring Edgar. He's probably going to urinate on me. I'm going to put Edgar down. Maybe we'll go to the small camera and we'll talk a little bit about the baby radiated tortoises here. Let's go on over, hang out, and oh yeah, here we go. Oh, how do I do it? I got to switch it right here. I want to get you guys a nice little thing. There you go. So there you can see the baby radiated tortoise, man. It's pretty nuts. So I love it. This little guy's awesome. Hey, somebody donated to us. Let's see who that was. I just want to say hello to you. Iguana Love 1, man. Thank you so much for your donation. I do appreciate that. I want to give you a shout out. And you've got a question. You'll always go to these places just for crocs and tortoises, etc. Do you know, or could you try to go to a place with different iguanas? Great. I'm all about it, pal. Like, listen, I love iguanas so much. In fact, when I was in Costa Rica recently, we saw some spiny tail iguanas. I tried to get close, but they ran away, some of the centenosaurs. And I'd like to plan a trip with Ty Park to go to one of the Caribbean islands where, you know, he is doing really cool stuff, you know, to help some of these animals. You know, there are a few people down here that do great work with Cyclura iguana, which happen to be a special passion of mine as well. So that's on the agenda. You guys just please be patient because, you know, we're trying to get all these things underway. We're trying to get these shows going, and it takes money and it takes time. So definitely hang in there because that is our goal here at Kamp Kenan. We like to educate. We can get specific about a species and teach you how to really care for it and rear it, but we can also want to do some adventures and get out there in the field because let's face it, guys, that's one of our dreams. Wouldn't you say? If you love animals and reptiles, I'm sure that you all want to get out there in the field as well just to see these animals in their natural habitat. So that's what we plan. But great question, and thank you so much for your donation. That is really cool. We appreciate it. Let's put this guy down here real quick. And we'll keep answering questions because you guys are firing out some really, really good questions here today. Oh, Dante, man, thank you so much. Dante Falzugger, you're always out there supporting us. We do appreciate it. Much love, man. Thank you very much. Kerry Hinton, show Slinky. I'd have to run outside. It would be a bunch of dead air. You'd be looking at the wall. I'd have to wrestle Slinky and bring him back in. But I'll do you one. Not quite Slinky, but no less exciting and fun. Let's pull him out right there. Let's talk Colin, man. Colin is such a cool snake. Now, Colin recently came with me to the Orlando Repticon, and people were tripping out about it because most of the time, these carpet pythons are a little bit feisty, a little bit bitey, and you never know. Maybe I'll get bit live right here for you all. But Colin's a good boy, man. Colin doesn't bite. He is really snaky there. He loves to climb around. He's a coastal carpet python. I love carpet pythons. I love their heads. Let me get you close up, and I'll show you. Well, hold on, he's nice and wrapped around. Check out this head. This snake's head is just meaty, man. And so many people always remark, you know, lay people or people that are just getting into reptiles, which we love here at Kamp Kenan, always remark they think it's a venomous snake because it's got that triangular shaped head. But that's why that's not always a very good indicator as to what a venomous snake is. Because he's got a lot of muscle on his head. Because these snake, they really clamp down. I just want to say hello to Oliver and Jack too. I think they said hello to me. Our buddies that were visiting last week. I'm saying hello to those guys. Miss you guys. We had a lot of fun. Meanwhile, Snake is starting to hold on very tightly, and he's crawling around my peach fuzzed head. Oh my gosh, man, this is kind of nutty right now. Come on over here, bud. There you go. He's really moving all over the place. So yeah, Colin's cool, man. He's got that meaty head that most of these carpet pythons have, and that's because, you know, these guys live in trees. They are semi-arboreal. They need strong jaws to grab and hold on to their prey, which might be of the flying variety. Like some of the large pythons can eat flying fox. Others will eat birds, a lot of warm-blooded prey, and then they make do with lizards and so on, things like that. Amhet Taz. Kenan, are you from Turkey? No, but it has come to my attention through the years of having the name Kenan that it is of Middle Eastern origin, and my mom got it from the Bible. I was like, I don't know if, you know, she got it from the Bible because I guess one of Noah's grandfathers was named Kenan or Kenan. You can say Kenan. I met another Kenan. He was from Turkey. But I say Kenan. So it's kind of made its way to Ireland. So the name for me is an Irish name by way of the Middle East. So no, I'm not from Turkey. I'm from Long Island, New York. So there you have it. I was the kid that asked about Salmonella in Orlando. Swarmex. Good deal, man. Nice to see you on here. Glad to have you on the live chats. The whole Salmonella thing with baby turtles and reptiles in general is because years ago, when people got baby turtles, they didn't know how to take care of them. So they get these little baby turtles for 5 cents at a local convenience store, a 5 and dime store, and they put them in this little bowl. And the turtle would live in the bowl, and it would poop in the bowl, and it would urinate in the bowl, and no one would clean the bowl. So if you lived in your own feces and urine, it's a breeding ground for bacteria. Salmonella grows in filthy areas. So people didn't know how to really keep reptiles way back when they made these laws. And so they just said, any turtle under 4 inches, you cannot own. So that's kind of a bummer. Now we know that we can keep these animals clean, that we can take better care of them, that the water quality, filtration is good, and we know to wash our hands as a precaution every time you're done handling a reptile. So the salmonella worry isn't that great. So it wasn't that turtles themselves had it. It was that they live in and around areas, or they were being kept in subpar conditions that really made them carry that disease. All right. Let's see. What's the best beginner tortoise for South Louisiana environment? Lit and Rich. All right, Lit and Rich. You can go with a few different species. You can go with any of the tropical, high humidity loving animals, elongated, cherryheads, redfoots, yellowfoots, some of your forest species like mountain tortoise. Sulcatas happen to be very adaptable and do well in the southeastern United States. I like those tortoises. Stay away from tortoises that, tend to have problems with humidity, like your star tortoises. Sometimes leopard tortoises can be tricky if they aren't raised up in that area. I would always suggest getting a tortoise as a hatchling and raising it up in that area. Always best to buy a tortoise that comes from a humid area and raise it up. What else do we got? Zach Kohler, baby redfoots are $125 plus shipping. What else do we got here? What happened to your gators you had in season 1? Brian Johnson, good question. They grew up and I returned them to the sanctuary. And I decided not to keep gators here at my site anymore because Kyle and I became buddies. Crocodile Kyle and I, he only lives a few miles away from me. He's got such a beautiful facility and he's very cool to me. He allows me to come over and hang out whenever I want. So I get my crocodile fix and gator fix all the time. So rather than just have one, large gator living here, I'd rather help Kyle build and maintain his facility. He's doing some amazing things with his facility in the upcoming, next couple of years. We're going to be showing you a lot of cool stuff that Kyle's going to be doing. So Kyle's place, whether he likes it or not, it's going to be my place too. He won't be able to get rid of me. So there you go. What else do we got here? Is turtle fighting illegal? By Fuentes. Any kind of animal fighting, I just don't like it. I don't like bullfighting. I don't like cockfighting. I think it's kind of cool to do that. So I would say if two turtles are fighting for monetary gain of a human being, then yes, that's a problem, Fuentes. That's a problem. Can't believe these questions. I know that was a joke too, by the way, but I'm going to answer your ridiculous questions. How is my Solomon Island skink? Meta Knight 300. Well, funny you ask. Solomon is doing well. I was thinking about bringing Solomon in today, but he's in a large outdoor enclosure now. He's enjoying the sun. I didn't want to disturb him. What's a good species of tortoise from Massachusetts? Any of your smaller species, since you're going to want to bring them in every winter. Greeks, hermans, elongateds, cherryheads. I would definitely be doing that. Those are the animals that are easy enough to house indoors. Russian tortoises can survive cooler temperatures and hibernate in the wild. I wouldn't allow any of those species, forget elongateds, they don't hibernate, but your Greeks and hermans and marginateds and Russians will hibernate. I don't know that I would allow them to hibernate outdoors all year round because of it just gets a little too wet in the Northeast, even in the winter. So I would be concerned about that. So I would keep them indoors or hibernate them in a controlled situation, like in a garage that's not getting rained on. Do you keep any snapping turtles? I'm guessing snapping turtles by DCC at Kamp Kenan. Yes, I do. I have a common snapping turtle, 2 that live in the pond. And, I have a gator snapper as well. All right. Connor Curry, how are my abs looking? A little out of shape. Not going to lie to you, man. I've been slacking the last few weeks. Been eating ice cream, pizza, and drinking soda. I'm kind of building a little pouch right here. And yeah, so thanks for asking, Connor. Weird. Let's see, man. How's the green iguana that I saved? Doing well. Asked Segan, and I mentioned it in an earlier video a few months back. The person wants to remain anonymous, but he's doing well. You know, that guy is kind of wild still, but they've been working on him. Someone also asked earlier how easy was it to tame Slinky. I didn't tame Slinky. I just worked with Slinky and gave Slinky space and gave Slinky security, and that's what I do with all my lizards and animals. Just time. Time and space and trust. That's what it's going to take. You know, I don't have any special techniques that I do. I just always am the guy bringing them food and the guy giving them a pleasant situation. So they start to equate me as somebody that can that can hang out with. That being said, recently did some cool stuff with Slinky, and you guys are going to see that video very, very soon. In fact, it's possible that you'll see that video on Sunday, but don't quote me on that because Tom is in charge of releasing the videos. Guys, I'm just a human, like, puppet. I just talk. That's what I do. I come out, I talk. Tom's the brains behind the operation. I take care of the animals and hang out and play with you guys. But yeah, I think Slinky, an episode with Slinky is going to be on Sunday. I think you guys will dig it. I have had Slinky now 2 years, Devin F317. There you go. Do I breed snakes? Ricardo Correa. I've only bred Dumerel's boas, and the first time I bred them was last year. They're live bearers. All I did was put the male and the female together, and they made more. So I don't really take a lot of credit for it. I just gave them a place to kind of hang out and do their thing. I am interested in breeding my Hog Island boas and my Timor pythons. I think that would be really cool because they're lesser seen snakes. So I want to kind of breed them. You know, that would be fun. I love to see new life. I love reptiles. I love getting them going, as I'm sure all of you guys do. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Barney Richardson, answer you. Ha, ha, ha. What are you talking about? Barney, let me see. Do you think it's harder for someone to get into the animal industry in a country lacking wildlife like the UK? I'm struggling. All right, Barney. A lot of people ask me, how do you get involved in wildlife? Guys, here's the deal. You know, Barney's question's a good one. You know, we're fortunate. We live in a big country that covers a large portion of the North American continent. There's a lot of different animals there. And then there's a big need for wildlife sanctuaries, big need for people that work with wildlife. I am not doing a traditional wildlife job. You know, we're doing some YouTube stuff. We're doing some videos. I work with the Bush Wildlife Sanctuary from time to time. So it's, you know, how I got into it was similar to how I got into bike riding. You have an interest, you start moving in that direction. The best thing that I can offer you guys is, of course, study, read. If you're a scholarly type and you view school as an important way to learn something and to get information, in other words, if you treat school as it should be treated as a serious, you know, endeavor, then I would say go to school, because it's going to give you really good, well-rounded education that you are going to call from and use in the future. But if you're not a school type, if you don't really like learning under those constraints, it's not necessarily for everyone. I did not have a formal education with these animals. However, I made sure that I put myself in situations where I went and volunteered at sanctuaries. I went and volunteered with, you know, the Turtle Survival Alliance and met many different biologists and vets and just put myself in a position where I hung out with people smarter than me. And I still do that because none of us knows everything, and that's one of the things you'll hear me harp on. No one is a, you know, end-all, be-all expert. We can all learn more. Animals are always teaching us. So, you know, go that direction. I couldn't really tell you what to do in the UK as I don't live there, but how it worked for me was just, you know, getting involved with the people that are already doing that work. So search them out, Google is your friend, and write a well-written email, you know, explaining your interests and what you want to do, and send it to as many of those institutions as you can, and never take no for an answer. You know, it's easy to write an email and then disappear. Never quit. Keep going. The animals need you. Cole Haynes, what's up, Cole? Kenan, my son loves your show. He's turning 4 tomorrow. Would you mind saying hi? His name's Coley. Coley, what's up, buddy? Thank you so much. 4 years old, man. You're ready to move out soon. Holy smokes, you're getting up there, kid. Thank you so much for your generous donation. Happy birthday to your son, Coley. Thank you guys for watching. I really, really appreciate when you folks, share and tell me your stories. And, we do appreciate your support and help with the show. We're having fun here today. It's 4:30. I'm going to keep going, man. Let's see. What else we got here? You guys, there's some funny guys out there today. I like it. But, they're children on here, so let's be cool. What else do we got here? Can a marginated tortoise mate with a Herman or Greek tortoise? I suppose it's possible. I really don't know. That's all speculation. I don't like to breed. I don't really like to do hybrids. We're trying to keep tortoise species, alive by species. So it's important that, you do the right thing there. Cherry head tortoises, Karen Bennett, are 200 plus shipping. There you go. You can email me at kampkenan@gmail.com. Let's see. No problem, Cole Haynes. I'm glad he had so much fun. Thank you very much for your donation. We do appreciate that, guys. Happy birthday to the young lad. Let's see. Any plans of traveling to the Philippines? And is it fine to keep a berm and a retic together in an outdoor enclosure? I would go the route of keeping berms separated from retics. I like to keep the species separate for the reason I just mentioned. You don't want any hybrids, and you don't want any conflicts as well. It's always a little risky keeping 2 snakes together, especially around feeding time. If they both strike the same prey item, it's possible one or the other is going to swallow each other. Let's see. My map turtle just basking behind me in the aquarium, watching the stream too. Dark Dankus Menace. Well, I think it's Menace. It went quick. That's good. Tell him I said, what's up? How you doing there, Mappy? Hanging out in the back. Let's see. We got time for a few more questions, and then I'm going to get moving. Can I be a moderator for your streams? Big Hoss. With a name like Big Hoss, there's no doubt you would be good. You could keep things, rolling smooth. As we get bigger, maybe we'll do that. I don't know. Let's see. Would really like to get your opinion on the lionfish problem in Florida and coral bleaching. B. Vito. Well, I can speak about, I'm up on the lionfish situation. I'm not really up on the bleaching. Obviously, it's a problem. I do scuba dive. I am concerned about the reefs we have just offshore. Some of the best diving I've done is right out here in Jupiter. And, when coral reefs are dying from toxins and, just even a lot of people diving and touching and so on, human involvement, that's a problem. As we know, they're ecosystems, very fragile ecosystems. They're places that many different animals live. And they may not be the largest animals, but they do provide an incredible function in the ecosystem there in our oceans. As far as lionfish, I think it's similar to the berms, guys. So many of us love snakes and we hate to see snakes killed, but they are a problem in the Everglades. And if you can, monetize them to where there is an incentive for people to hunt them. People have now monetized lionfish where they are eating lionfish. I think that's a good thing. I know a lot of vegans out there disagree with me, but we have to start looking at broader solutions because it's something that is going to be a problem as we move further along in the 21st century here. We don't want to disrupt any more of the ecosystems. So, I say, put a price on their head and make it worthwhile for people to get out there and hunt them so that they'll spend their energy, time, and money and possibly be able to, make some small profit for getting them out of the ecosystem. I think we got another, someone else. Let's see. Noah Rodriguez, thank you so much for your donation, mate. Appreciate that. And your question is, what kind of tortoise to get that stays small when full grown? Ready? Here we go, Noah. Greek tortoises, Herman tortoises, marginated tortoises, elongated tortoises. We're talking about tortoises that don't grow over a foot. That would be an extremely large marginated or elongated tortoise. cherry heads. Some can get, bigger than you'd expect, but they're still a smaller size tortoise. Spider tortoises, but they're a little tricky. Hingeback tortoises, again, very tricky animals. But as far as good pets, any in the genus Testudo, which are your European tortoises, are going to stay small. Great personality, robust, awesome animals. I get, in fact, let's check this out. You stay here. Go up here for me. Go up there. Let me show you something, guys. Just hatched it. Don't get stuck in the iguana now. Just hatched this little booger out. Let me see if I can find him while I'm talking to you folks. Where'd he go? Holy smokes, I just put him in here. Give me a second, guys. Don't go anywhere. I'm not. I got to locate the little dude. Always a little nerve-wracking, but I actually have such a large enclosure for these little babies that they burrow down and disappear very well. Oh, man. Where'd they go? Oh, shucks. I had a baby Greek tortoise that I want to show you guys. Little dude. Where is he? I found him. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to switch up the cameras, too, so you guys can really see. Let me close that. Let me close that. Give me a second, guys. Let's do it. And then I'm going to have to sign off. All right, check this out. How's that? Little baby Greek tortoise, only 3 days old. Isn't that amazing? Now, normally these guys here I sell them for $200 plus shipping, but this guy's got really cool, interesting scoots there. They're irregular, so he is $150 plus shipping. But this is a little guy. So isn't that awesome, man? Pretty cool. I love it, and they're pretty rad. So these guys are kind of like a very similar to the Hermann's tortoises, same size, very similar in features. There are a few little distinguishing marks. As you can check out the Kamp Kenan video on the Greek tortoises, and you'll know the differences between them. One is the Greek tortoise does not get a keratinous horn on its tail. It gets the tip of the Hermann's tortoise tail actually has a little bit of keratin. It's like a horn. So that's one of the ways you can tell the difference. And of course, also as these guys grow, you see his little butt. He's got the little spurs. They also call these spur thigh tortoises, which is why I don't call sulcata spur thighs, because one is the Greek tortoise, and if you say spur thigh, people think they're getting a Greek tortoise, and the next thing you know, they've got a 200-pound tortoise in 20 years. These guys right here, Noah, this tortoise right here only gets about 10 inches at the max if it's a female, and a little bit smaller if it is a male. So there you go, people. I appreciate you all hanging out with me. We've done 38 minutes today. Pretty fun episode. Nice time I had with you guys. But I got family visiting, and we're going to go eat. But thanks so much. We will be back again next week. And look, I love answering your questions. Oh, yeah. And I can't forget that I have snakes and tortoises that got to go back out. It's kind of cool, huh? I like that. I wish I could just let him hang out here all the time. He's such a cool snake, Colin. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Really had a good time with everybody. We are going to be seeing you again Sunday. Lots more happening here on Kamp Kenan. Thanks for joining me. Hey, we're almost to 100,000 subs. I can't believe it, man. I cannot believe it. So really stoked for that. Thank you so much for all your support. If you like what you see here, please share. Share across Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat if you like. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys later. And time now to get Edgar back and Colin back. So long, everybody. Thank you. See you guys.